to laugh or run out the door. That was a wonderful dissertation. I think you and I are in the same boat. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'll tell you, it's coming so fast now, and I've only been 30 years of age in January, so I feel good. They laugh at me all the time on that. What is New Year? It's a new beginning. It really is, when you stop and think of it. Because it's a new start for all of us to do things that we really want to do and to enjoy life a little bit differently. We've been through an awful lot over the last few years. I remember coming to a group of widows who lost their husbands. And the one who put it on lost her husband a couple of years ago or so, and she's the president of the organization. She invited me down to see this group. And I walked in, and there was about 4 or 5 seats of rows of these ladies sitting there of different ages. And I could tell from the expression that they weren't going to make any changes whatsoever. They're pretty well stuck in the mud, so to speak. So the lady who was the manager of it, she said, I'm going to call you later. And I said, okay. Well, when she called, she said, you know, I'm going to quit doing that because people will not listen to what they should really do. And I said, well, I understand that because I go through that myself at times. So what she did is she bought a large, covered like a wagon or a transport, and her and her friend are going to go out and see different places they haven't seen before. So she's making some changes. And that's before 2026. But there's still a lot of people stuck in 2025. They will not move. Now my son, who was a lawyer, and he's a good one, of course he looks like the father, a good handsome man. I have to say that because I don't get applause for that, do I? But anyway, he's very good at what he does. He does large negotiations on different things like ships and all this stuff, beyond my comprehension. And he was telling me, he says, you know, he said, I'm getting so much work, I'm taking it home at night. And I said, well, that sounds familiar, because I used to do that myself. I said, the only thing you shouldn't do, and he said, what's that? Don't raise your hand. Sit on your hand, for heaven's sakes. And he said, but they come in, and I said, you know, the word no sometimes works. But he's really frustrated with it. Because what happens is, when you get somebody like that, if they're any good, and they stay there to get the thing done, they're going to keep pounding it on you. So he's thinking about moving. And I said, well, it's funny, you know, you mentioned that because being a parent, children don't listen to their parents at all. They think we never went through all this stuff before. So I'm hoping that he makes some decision on that. And I'm seeing that more and more now. People today are saying, gee, I'd like to make some moves. I'd like to move from Florida to, say, Massachusetts. No, don't do it in the wintertime because you never survive up there, especially in New York. But people are in a little bit of a situation of making some changes. And I said to them, I said, well, you really need to make the changes if it's on your mind this much. I had a woman call me. I did a meeting for her a few months ago. And she asked me about a book that she was thinking about for a number of years. And she finally got it out. And she doesn't know how it's going to go. And I said, well, give me a synopsis of the book. And she did. And I said, it's going to go far. And she said, well, you're just saying that. I said, well, watch. So 3 weeks later, she called me back and says, guess what? She has a large audience coming up. She's going to make a presentation for it. So she's doing very well. So people are in that change right now. And what we have to do is kind of shut the door on the past and let it go. Let it go. Don't contemplate on it, but enjoy the future. I believe that's what God, the Infinite Spirit, wants us to do. I was out in Arizona, I think it was in 2020, where I did the church service and readings and lectures and everything else. But I did a seance. And it was very fascinating because I haven't done a seance in years. I could see the Native American Indians coming in from Spirit Side of Life. And there was a group of them coming over the Northern Lights. And it didn't dawn on me at this time while I was there. But when I got home, I was told from my guide that they're in to balance out the world. In to balance out the world. Now most of us who are very sensitive have noticed that there are some changes going on right now. And people who are kind of stuck in the old world, and the people who are open-minded like spiritualists are starting to look at things differently. So there's a lot of changes going on that we have to accept. Now the reason why I say that is because we all think it's intuition that things happen coincidentally. But it's not. It's spirit intervention. A lot of times you want to do something and you get that feeling afterwards, well, look at this instead. That's your spirit guide working with you. We all know we all came up with spirit guides and angels. Not devils, angels. But we do come in with those, and they work with us constantly. Now my guide, her name is Mary, and she tells me certain things. Of course, being human, we have to internalize the whole thing and digest it and organize and say, well, that can't be. But every single thing she's told me, at least for me, works. Works. So when you get that up and down point of saying, well, I don't know whether I want to move out of here, I don't know if I want to do this or do that, your spirit guide will help you. Now there are mediums who will say, your spirit guide is with you, but they won't bother you. They'll stand aside of you. I disagree with that. They're there to help us. They know exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, and why. And they're going to put those words in there somehow to let you know it's time to do it. It's time to do it. And we have to listen to it. And it's very important. So your spirit guide is there working with you constantly. And when you get into the new year like now, this is the time to really look at things differently. Open that front door, let the light shine in, and start enjoying life. You really have to. I don't know about you, but I'm getting younger, but most people are getting older. I mean, my oldest boy is 56, and I said, how the heck did you do that? I'm only 30. You know. Of course, these guys are on 6-footers, and I need a ladder to speak to them. But again, keep the door open for what you feel is right for you. And don't let anybody talk you out of it. There'll be plenty of people going to tell you this and that. But if you have a feeling about something, that's your spirit guide working with you directly. And I know that. Now, I've been doing this work for 40 years, and I'm still learning. Because every time I do lectures and answer questions and talk to people, I learn more. And the more you learn, the more spirit will open up for you to help you to continue on through life. So I don't look at it as I know everything, because I don't. So all I can say today, really, is have a great and cheerful New Year's. Keep the door open for yourself and enjoy life the way it really is going to be this year. And I thank you.